Philippines, hello Region 1, aloha sa Caribbean learners, airing live from the Magnesium capital of the Philippines at Carlos City. You're tuning into CCN Broadcast Center, a virtual home of every SEC learner, where passion is the key, learning paves the way. With our division mantra, developing creativity, maximizing versatility. This is your CCN Broadcast Center. CCN Broadcast Center, a virtual home of every SEC learner.
Good day, Sci Masters! Welcome to another exciting and fun-filled learning here at CCN Broadcast Center. This is teacher Nerissa C, Layog, your science webcaster for today. So, are you all ready? Before we begin, please be reminded of the things that you need to prepare for our interactive learning. These are paper, pen, and of course, your SLM for Science Quarter 3, Module 4. May I request also that you provide with you a periodic table as your additional material. Okay, for this time, we will be talking about the periodic table of elements. Please remember that our topic for today will cover this most essential learning competency. Use the periodic table of elements to predict the chemical behavior of an element with the code S8MT-3I-J-12. And at the conclusion of our time together, you should be able to 1. Identify the groups and periods of the elements. 2. Describe metals, nonmetals, and metalloids. 3. Compare the relative reactivity of metals. And 4. Use the periodic table of elements to predict the chemical behavior of an element. To start, okay, let's do a crossword puzzle. Your challenge is to be able to complete a crossword puzzle. Here we go. Number 2, across. They are elements in group 16. Go. The correct answer is chalcogen. Number 3, across. A property of metal that is capable of being hammered into thin sheets without breaking. Go. And the correct answer is malleable. Okay, number 6, across. An element that has the properties of metals and nonmetals. Go. The correct answer is metalloid. Number 8, across. It is a series of radioactive metallic elements. Go. And the correct answer is actinide. Next. Number 10, across. It is the horizontal row of the periodic table of elements. Go. And the correct answer is period. Let's continue. Number 1, down. They are generally poor conductors of heat and electricity. Go. The correct answer is non-metal. Next, number 4, down. It refers to the brightness that a shiny surface has. Go. And the correct answer is luster. Number 5, down. It is the name of the group of very reactive nonmetals and often used as disinfectant. Go. The correct answer is halogen. Number 7, down. It is a physical property that is able to draw out into a thin wire. Go. The correct answer is dactyl. Okay. Number 9, down. The column of elements on the periodic table. Go. And the correct answer is group. Okay, I'm sure that you did the thing. I salute you for being able to unlock difficult words and review important concepts. Okay, let's do another activity to boost your mood. This activity is called 4 Picks 1 Word. You will be given 5 seconds for every question. Okay, directions. Reveal the word by analyzing the given set of pictures and letters. Okay, here is the first set of pictures. Your timer starts now. What is your answer? The correct answer is elements. Next, timer starts now. And the correct answer is family. Next. Timer starts now. The correct answer is metals. Next. Timer starts now. The answer is period. Next. Timer starts now. The correct answer is group. You did an amazing job, learners. Okay, I believe that you are now ready to explore another lesson. So what are we waiting for? Let's have a brief discussion of the lesson. I hope that you will be able to discover and understand new concepts and skills. Moving on. Okay, what does the figure show? Yes, you are right. It shows the periodic table of elements. The first figure shows the elements on the modern periodic table, which are organized based on similarities or properties of elements. And here are some important points to remember about the periodic table of elements. Okay, first, the periodic table is a tabular display of chemical elements. Second, it is widely used in, yes, chemistry, physics, and other sciences. And lastly, it is a graphic formulation of the periodic law, which states that the properties of the chemical elements exhibit periodic dependence on their atomic numbers. Let us continue. So what does the next figure show? You are right, periods. Okay. Figure 2 shows the horizontal rows of the periodic table called, again, periods. And here are some key ideas about the periods. A period in the periodic table is a row of chemical elements. And all elements in a row have the same number of electron shells. Another, each next element in a period has one more proton and is less metallic than its predecessor. So as you can see in the figure, there are how many periods in the periodic table? Yes, you're right, 18. There are 18 periods in the modern periodic table of elements. Okay, moving on. What does this figure show? Exactly, groups or families. Okay, please take note that the group number corresponds to the number of electrons in their outermost shell. And these outermost shell, or outermost electrons rather, are called valence electrons. The elements in group of the period table have similar chemical properties. So as you can see in the figure, there are how many groups? Yes, 7 groups in the periodic table. Okay, let us further discuss on the features of groups and families of elements in the periodic table. Please take note that the elements from the taller columns, which are groups 1, 2, and 13 through 18, are called representative elements or the main group of the periodic table. Okay? Let us describe them one by one. Let us start with group 1. Okay, group 1 of the periodic table are the, any idea? Yes, alkali metals. They are, please follow, hydrogen, H, lithium, Li, sodium, Na, potassium, K, rubidium, Rb, cesium, Cs, and francium, Fr. Now, what are their properties? Alkali metals belonging to group 1 are representatives of the main groups of the periodic table. Number 2, very reactive, soft, malleable, and ductile. And number 3, good conductors of heat and electricity with only one valence electron. Okay, next, group 2, which is known as alkaline earth metals. This group covers the elements, what? Okay, beryllium, Be, magnesium, Mg, calcium, Ca, strontium, Sr, barium, Ba, and radium, Ra. These elements are described as second most reactive elements. Number 2, with no valence electrons. Number 3, malleable, ductile, and good conductors of heat and electricity. But take note of this, not as soft as group 1 elements. The next group is group 13, or what? Yes, boron group. Boron group elements is any of the 6 chemical elements constituting group 13 of the periodic table. The elements are you still following? Okay, we have boron, B, aluminum, Al, gallium, Ga, indium, In, thallium, Ti, or Tl rather, and nihonium, Nh. They are, yes, post-transition metals except for boron, which is a metalloid. Take note of that. And nihonium also, which is a synthetic chemical element that is extremely radioactive. Okay. And take note, they have how many valence electrons? Yes, 3. Let's now have group 14, or the, yes, carbon family. Contains, of course, carbon, C, silicon, Si, germanium, Ge, tin, Sn, lead, Pb, and flerobium, Fl. Okay, class, take note that elements in this family are the key importance for semiconductor technology, also known as carbon family or the, what? Okay, tetraels. With how many valence electrons? 4. Okay, very good. Next in line are the nitrogen family. Okay, nitrogen family includes the following compounds: nitrogen, N, phosphorus, P, arsenic, As, antimony, Sb, bismuth, Bi, and moscovium, Mc. They are known as what? Pnictogen group. That's right. With how many valence electrons? Yes, 5. Next, we have group 16. Okay, group 16, known as chalcogens, consists of the elements, what? Are you still following? Okay, oxygen or O, sulfur, S, selenium, Se, tellurium, Te, polonium, Po, and livermorium, Lv. Here are their properties or characteristics. Number 1, chalcogen is the new trivial name recognized by the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. Another, they are generally nonmetals with 6 valence electrons. Let's now have group 17. Okay, group 17 or the halogens are located on the what side? Yes, left of the noble gases on the periodic table. These toxic nonmetallic elements consist of fluorine, of course, F, chlorine, Cl, bromine, Br, iodine, I, astatine, At, and tennessine, Ts. Halogens are, take note of this, salt former. They exist in all three states of matter, and they have 7 valence electrons. Next, group 18, also known as, yes, noble gases. The elements in group 18 are helium, He, neon, Ne, argon, Ar, krypton, Kr, xenon, Xe, radon, Rn, and oganesson, Og. They are stable gases, non-reactive or inert elements with 8 valence electrons except helium. Take note of that. Okay, so let us continue with the other main group of elements, which is called, yes, transition metals. Okay, many scientists describe a transition metal as any element in the periodic table which includes group 3 to 12. That's right. Okay. Their characteristics are summarized as follows. Number 1, hard, with mercury as an exemption. 2, malleable, ductile, and good conductors of electricity. And last one, with 1 or 2 valence electrons. Okay, let's take a look at another group of elements. It is called, that's right, Lanternize and Actinized. You may notice that Lanternize and Actinized are separated from the rest of the periodic table, right? And usually appearing as separate rows at the bottom. Okay, here are the important features of the Lanternize and Actinized series. Number 1, they are a special series of elements but are also part of the transition block. And number 2, they are also called the inner transition elements. Okay, this time let us identify and describe the different classifications of elements. Okay, I want you to take a closer look at the figure that is shown. And please be guided by the color code. Okay, the color code consists of what colors? Yes, purple for metals, blue for nonmetals, and green for metalloids. Okay, you can see that in the above figure, there are metals are located where? Yes, on the left side of the periodic table of elements. Elements that are found far right of the periodic table are called nonmetals. Yes, and then the stair-step line on the table that separates the metals from nonmetals are called metalloids. Yes. Okay, next. Let us refer to the table for the summary of the properties of elements based on the classification of elements. Okay, we start with the metals. Metals are lustrous or shiny, malleable, hard, ductile, and good conductors of heat and electricity. Nonmetals, on the other hand, are dull in appearance, brittle, and poor conductors of heat and electricity, while metalloids have some properties of metal but behave chemically like a nonmetal in certain instances. And some are semiconductors, which means they will insulate and conduct electricity. Okay, class. Did you know that there are more than 100 chemical elements listed on the periodic table? And that most of these elements are metals, which have also been crucial in the development of human civilization. It is therefore important for us to know something about them, right? Yes. It is also significant to note that they vary greatly in how reactive they are to combine with other elements to form compounds. Okay, let's talk about metals more. Okay, metal is defined as any of a class of substances characterized by, number 1, high electrical and thermal conductivity, as well as malleability, ductility, and high reflectivity of light. The most abundant varieties in the Earth's crust are aluminum, iron, calcium, sodium, potassium, and magnesium. And lastly, the vast majority of metals are found in ores or mineral-bearing substances. Now let's talk about reactivity of metals. Okay, let's define reactivity. Reactivity refers to, number one, the chemical reactions of a single substance, or it could be the chemical reactions of two or more substances that interact with each other. Number three, reactivity decomposes. Number four, forms new substances by addition of atoms from another reactant or reactants. And finally, interacts with two or more other reactants to form two or more products. Okay, let us analyze the figure that is shown in your screen. Okay, what does it say? Yes, it shows reactivity of metals. It can be interpreted that metal reactivity decreases, that's right, from left to right. Across what? Across periods. And increases down groups. Good. Okay. This time, let us examine the activity series of metals. Now, which metal is most reactive based from the figure? Yes, you are right. It is potassium from what group? Group 1, that's right. And which do you think is less reactive between calcium and magnesium? Simple test. The correct answer is magnesium. Simply because magnesium is located above calcium in group 2, which means to say that magnesium is less reactive than calcium and vice versa. Okay, class, you have to remember also that a reaction does not always happen between a metal and a compound, because a less reactive metal cannot replace a more reactive metal. Take note of that. Hence, no reaction will occur. On the other hand, a more reactive metal can replace a less reactive metal and will produce a reaction rather. Now, can you identify specific metals rather that can react with water and with acids? Okay. So metals that react with water are, based from the figure, potassium, sodium, lithium, barium, strontium, and calcium. And those that react with acids are, yes, magnesium, aluminum, manganese, zinc, chromium, iron, cadmium, cobalt, and nickel. Okay, let us now see how far you have learned with our lesson on reactive and non-reactive metals. So you will have to provide the necessary word or words to complete the statements and come up with a summary of the lesson. Okay, I want you to bring out your paper. Write your answer on a clean sheet of paper. I will give you some time to answer. Read it with your eyes. You may now begin. Here now are the answers. Please check your own answers. And the answers are, number 1, metals. Number 2, reactivity. Number 3, top. Number 4, below. Number 5, less. Number 6, reaction. Number 7, replace. Number 8, elements. Number 9, increases. And number 10, decreases. So what is your score? Okay, class. If in case there are certain points in the lesson that you got confused with, you can always go back to our discussion here at SDO SCC TV. Yes. For now, let us have another follow-up activity. Okay, come to think of the applications of metals in our life. Your final challenge is to look for applications of these elements in real life. Okay, I'm sure you have something in mind now. Here are some possible answers. Okay, first, iron. Most iron is used to manufacture steel, of course. Next is magnesium. Magnesium is used in products that benefit from being lightweight? There. Like car seats, luggage, laptops, cameras, and power tools. We also have lithium. The most important use of lithium is in rechargeable batteries for mobile phones, laptops, digital cameras, and electric vehicles. Okay. It's now time to assess your level of understanding of the lesson. You may also comment down your answer in the chat box. Okay, let's get it started. Question number 1. Which of the elements does not belong to the same period? A. Ag, B. Co, C. L, D. Xe. Okay, the correct answer is letter B. Co. Question number 2. Which of the following belongs to the same family of element phosphorus? A. Carbon, B. Magnesium, C. Nitrogen, D. Oxygen. Your answer. The correct answer is C. Nitrogen. Question number 3. In what period is manganese located? A. 4, B. 9, C. 7, D. 2. Your answer. The correct answer is A. 4. Question number 4. Which of the following best describes metals? A. Metals are dull and brittle. B. Metals are insulators and poor conductors of heat. C. Metals are lustrous, malleable, ductile, and good conductors of heat and electricity. D. Metals are dull, brittle, malleable, ductile, and good conductors of heat and electricity. Your answer. The correct answer is C. Okay. Question number 5. Which of the following statements are not true about metalloids? 1. They are all semiconductors. 2. They are all good conductors of heat and electricity. 3. Some of these elements are boron, silicon, and germanium. 4. They are borderline elements that exhibit both metallic and non-metallic properties to some extent. Your answer. And the correct answer is A. Question number 6. Which metal is found at the bottom of the activity series of metals? A. Copper, B. Gold, C. Iron, D. Platinum. Your answer. The correct answer is D. Platinum. Question number 7. Which one of the following transition metals reacts the least with water? A. Copper, B. Gold, C. Platinum, D. Silver. Your answer. The correct answer is silver. Question number 8. Which one of the following metals reacts most violently with cold water? A. Aluminum, B. Copper, C. Lithium, D. Zinc. Your answer? The correct answer is lithium. Okay, question number 9. In which arrangement of elements will reactivity generally become greater? A. Left to right, B. Bottom to top, C. Top to bottom, D. Both A and C. And the correct answer is letter C. Question number 10. Sodium, magnesium, and aluminum belong to period 2. Now, which of the following statements is correctly stated? A. Aluminum repels magnesium from its compound. B. Sodium bonds with aluminum from its compound. C. Aluminum displaces sodium from its compound. And D. Sodium pushes out aluminum from its compound. Your answer. And the correct answer is D. So, what is your score? But anyway, whatever will be your score, I want you to know that I appreciate you all for being with me in the discussion. And I thank you for your active participation today. Remember, class, that you can always go back to this discussion. You just have to click again the link that was shared to you. Okay, before we bid goodbye, I am going to give you a simple enrichment activity which will serve as your assignment. Yes, may assignment kayo. Okay, take note of this. You can submit your final output asynchronously in any platform of your choice. So here it goes. The activity is called... Okay, wait. Thinking out of the box. Okay. Think about the changes that you have observed around you, particularly those involving metals. And please be guided by the following questions. Number 1, what harmful effects could happen when a metal mixes with acids? And number 2, what are some ways of preventing metals from corrosion? So that's it, guys. It was indeed a joyful learning. Okay, I would like to say congratulations, dear learners. You did a great job. Thank you for tuning in to SDO SCC TV. Always remember that science matters and that learning should never stop. Again, this is Mrs. Nerissa C. Layog at your service. Bye.
Good day, Philippines. Hello, Region 1. Aloha sa Carolinian learners. Airing live from the Magnesium capital of the Philippines, San Carlos City. You're tuning into CCN Broadcast Center, a virtual home of every SDO-SCC learner, where passion is the key. Learning paves the way. With our division mantra, developing creativity, maximizing versatility. This is your CCN Broadcast Center. CCN Broadcast Center, a virtual home of every SDO-SCC learner.